All right, welcome back. We're going to take a look at part 2. And so if you're looking at your directions for part 2, it tells you that you have 2 short bolts, 2 long bolts, 2 square nuts, 2 hex nuts available to you. It has the same regulations, or however you want to say it, the same rules for what is allowed as a combination. So first of all, notice I already have all the combinations from part 1 up here, because each of those combinations is also a possible combination for part 2. So leaving those there, one of the first things, and what I had suggested and showed you, was that you could take one long bolt and make the exact same combinations. So if you'll notice here, I take one long bolt and one hex nut. I take one long bolt and one square nut. I take a long bolt, 2 hex nuts, okay. I take a long bolt and I take one square nut and one hex nut. Okay. I have a long bolt, and I have it in the other order: hex nut, square nut. Oops, sorry. And then I have a long bolt and 2 hex nuts, and a square nut, and then I can have a long bolt, hex nut, square nut, hex nut, and I can take a long bolt and a square nut, 2 hex nuts, okay? So there's 8 again. Now, remember in part 2, you also had a second square nut. Okay? So I could add another square nut to this one, but then I already have that one. Okay? But I could add another square nut to this one. So you actually would have, what I'm trying to say is that there's another combination. So you could have another combination down here, but with 2 square nuts on it. I could put a square nut on this one, but I already have that down below. I could put another square nut on this one though. I could add another long bolt down here and put 2 square nuts and 1 hex nut. So there's another combination. I could take another square nut and add it to this one. And I'd have 2 square nuts and 1 hex nut. Okay? I could add another square nut to this one. I'd have 2 hex nuts, 2 square nuts. Then I could add a square nut to this one, and that's just another order for the one above it, and could do the same thing here. So notice I have these 8, I have these 8, plus I have 6 more. So that makes 22. And actually, I could also put a square nut over here on this one. 2 square nuts there. If I put 2 square nuts there, I already have that one. But, like before, I could put another square nut on that one. I could put another square nut on that one. I could put another square nut. Come on, slow. I could put another square nut on that one. Okay. I could put another square nut on that one. I could put another square nut on that one. And I think there still are some other orders that you could have. Square nut, hex nut, square nut, whatever. So notice I had 22, and there's 6 more. There's 28.